Hi everyone. Today we're going to make little clay gnomes. And I'm using Sculpey polymer clay, and I picked out three really pleasing colors. Sort of a muted purple, a lilac, and my favorite color, turquoise. So what I've begun to do is condition the clay. Conditioning the clay just makes it easier to work with and helps to eliminate any little air bubbles that might form. I'm making teardrops, which consist of the arms and the body on the lavender, and the body on the turquoise and the purple are round. So I'm making all the forms first. And then I attach the arms to the bodies. Next, I'm going to insert toothpicks so that the heads will adhere better. Household tools work really great for polymer clay tools like toothpicks, screws, nails, pins, toothbrushes, old credit cards, plastic lids, and I will do a video on all the different tools you can find around your house. So here I've taken the flesh color and I've made a ball for the head and pushed it right on the toothpick, and two tiny little pea-size balls for the hands, which I adhere to the arms. They're starting to take shape and look pretty cute. This is a very fun tutorial to do with your children also. Now I've mixed white and gray to make the beard, and I form like a snake, and I attach it to from the side to the side of the front. And then I use this shish kebab stick to make the beard take shape. I like adding the gray because it just gives it that nice salt and pepper look. I recently sold all of my clay supplies because we moved, and I didn't know if I would be doing clay because I used to sell it on Etsy. But for tutorials, I don't need a ton of supplies. And as I gather things around the house, like I said, I'll do a tutorial just on the things you can use without breaking the bank to make polymer clay characters. Now I'm going to match their little hats with the outfit they have on. And it would be cute to mix them up, but I am going to, for this one, do matching hats. And I make a cone. I make a little bit of an indent in the cone, and then I place it on top of the gnome's head, and I adhere it with my fingers so it won't fall off, and then you can form like the top of the hat. On the last gnome, I added a little flesh colored nose. And sorry, The gnome has left the building. Oh, there he is. So just adding little noses to their faces. Gnomes tend to have big noses. It also, if you exaggerate body parts, it makes the characters you're making have more of a personality. So with the gnome's bodies finished, I'm going to add a little detail to each gnome. I'm making little tiny teardrops and forming little flowers for the first gnome. I add a little purple center. These are all teardrops and circles. Now on this gnome, his flower is going to be a little bit bigger than his friend's flower. His friend has a 3-petaled flower, and he is holding a flower with multiple petals. And this final gnome is just holding a heart. And a quick way to make a heart is to make 2 teardrops. Push the 2 teardrops together. And like that. And then press down a little and pop it on. A little bit of pressure to hold it in place. So now all of our little gnomes are holding something. Now that our gnomes are made, we're going to make a little mushroom. Once again, I start off with a teardrop, and then I make a little indent in it. Now I'm just forming it. See, it almost looks like the body of a gnome. Then I roll purple, and I take my shish kebab stick and I make a large hole in it without going through. And then I form kind of like a toadstool look. And then I'm going to add the blue base of the mushroom to the top. I guess it's not big enough yet. Gotta work it. As everyone says, polymer clay is very forgiving. So if you make a mistake, you just start over again. Here we have the top of the toadstool or mushroom attached to the bottom. And I'm going to add little dots of the different colored clay. Tiny little dots. And I just make a tiny ball and push it right into the clay. So many things I could have added to these gnomes, but I'm starting off simple for my viewers, and many of you may be far advanced, but to begin with, I'm just going to start with simple little characters, and then I'll start adding a lot of details and additions to whatever piece I am making. Alright, so our toadstool, I'm still adding little dots. And we will be ready for the next step. Now bake in the oven at 265 for 20 minutes. Let cool and paint on little black dots for eyes. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Come back for more art and craft videos. Thank you.